Hello everyone, welcome to the vlog. Not a clue what day it is. Well, I mean, I know it's what is it, Sunday? It's Sunday, but in terms of what number day of the vlog it is, not a clue. But Gabby and I, for the first time in Sardinia, are going off by ourselves for the next, I don't know,
few hours,
maybe 5, somewhere around there. And we are taking public transportation to go to the other side of the city and do a walking tour with a guide. So all we have to do is we have to walk to this bus stop, get on. We've already taken the bus before, as you guys have seen, and basically take that, stop somewhere, wait for another bus at that stop, and then get on that, and then it'll take us close to our destination. So we'll see. First time doing it alone, so that'll be interesting. So yeah, here we go. So we are in the middle of nowhere where we got off the bus, and the bus that we were supposed to get on left 3 minutes early, and we got here 3 minutes later. I think so. Well, we made it. We're out just somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and we're waiting for a tour guide that we found online. So hopefully we don't get murdered or something similar.
Why would you say that? Half kilometers. It's not super long. The highest point is 135 meters above the sea level, so it's not going to be something super hard to do. Any questions along the way, please ask.
What got you into like starting touring?
I used to bring all of my friends and anyone that came to visit me here, and they were like, why don't you do a tour of this? And I was like,
Make money off of something you love to do, right?
Yeah.
also it helped me leave bartending, which here in Italy is not a very nice job to have.
Yeah.
I work with bartenders at my work.
So I'm very thankful for the tour industry.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for 2 years. I've been living here for 4. And before I was living in Amsterdam. Wait, are you Dutch? Your phone number is Dutch.
Yeah, I am Dutch.
Or American, if you can.
I would have guessed that, yeah.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty incredible.
Wow. Okay, so one thing that you're gonna notice as we're going up and up is that the landscape's gonna change.
Yeah.
So right now, what we can see right here is Cala Mosca Beach. Over there, we're gonna see the old lighthouse and the new lighthouse. That's called the Saint Elijah lighthouse. I'm gonna say Saint Elia because that's the Italian way, and Elijah is not a word that my brain can change every time I pronounce that name.
That's okay.
So of course the older one was bigger because nowadays lighthouses are not really used and are not very important as they used to be, so they have a smaller one. And then if we look over there on top of that hill, you'll see some ruins. I don't know if you see them. This hill over here.
Yeah.
So that's called it's a fort that's called Saint Ignatius. It was built in 1790 to protect the city from the attacks of Napoleon. Okay. We are going to learn later, when we're a little bit up, that everyone wanted to invade Sardinia since at least the 8th century before Christ. Wow. So they were always very ready and having either towers or forts in the hills close to the coast to see if anyone was coming to attack and potentially get control of the island. This whole project didn't really work because Napoleon came very fast, and they weren't able to finish it. There was really no use for it. So any sick people that was in the city of Cagliari, and when I say sick, it's like with a contagious sickness or also crazy people, they would send them here as a shelter because it was very far away from the city. Today the city comes very close to where we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine in that time, it was more or less until it was only the city center. Or why does this place have a lot of things that are called Saint Elia? We're gonna see a lot of them also at the top. Saint Elia was a 90-year-old hermit before medieval times, so a long time ago. And he lived off land. Everything that he lived was picked from here. He didn't get out of the hills ever. And he was Christian. When the Romans were doing the persecution thing to Christians, they killed him at the top. They decapitated him. And he became a martyr. We're gonna see after, they actually made a monastery dedicated to him.
There?
No, those are towers.
Oh, okay.
One of those is called Saint Elia though. So
Oh, okay, cool.
you were quite correct. Now, what I like to think, because there's also no proper evidence that this guy existed, other than what I'm telling you and people naming lots of things after him. But what I like to think is that that cave was used by him. When he wanted some shelter, he would go there and rest for a bit. You can now believe it or not, but since there's no really an explanation about that, I just believe that. Okay, we can start. I don't know if you see the fence.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I see.
We can see it from here. It goes all the way here, and then it goes down.
And that's where they had the aliens?
Well, I mean, it could be. The fence looks very scary, but it's not. I've never seen anyone close to the fence. And I've been coming here at least twice a month for the past 4 years. Well, except for the lockdown, but I've never seen anyone close to that fence.
Like on this side or on the other side?
I mean, I've been to the other side also. I didn't see anyone either. There's this beach here. This is called Poeto, which you might have already seen. And it's 20 kilometers long. Now, it's not just 20 kilometers long, it's just that Poeto properly finishes at 20 kilometers. It then continues, because the whole coast continues over there, going to other places, but Poeto properly, it's just 20 kilometers. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Wow. That city or those buildings that you see over there, that's Quartu. That's the town next to Cagliari.
Okay.
Got it.
Oh, okay.
So if you wanted to make tequila, for example, in order for it not to kill you, you have to wait until the plant has its first flower. If you don't, it could be potentially toxic for your stomach or your liver.
Lovely. And this is the little... Oh, this is so cool.
This is a shelter. You can leave your bag here if you want. Rest for a bit and have some shade. If you break this and you take it out, it would be like
Oh, wow. What is this?
that's a cistern. We're gonna see more of that later, but first you have to see this to then understand that.
That's crazy.
How deep does it go?
This is 4.5 meters deep and it's 27 meters long. It goes all the way over there. Okay, so these ruins here, these used to be a temple, a Punic temple, from the 3rd century before Christ. It was dedicated to the goddess of Astarte, who was the goddess of fertility and the protector of the sailors, which is a very weird combination, but when you hear the story, you're gonna understand why. In this temple, you had to do a ritual. All of the girls from the village, let's call Cagliari the village, all of the girls who turned 15 or from 15 to 17 had to come to the temple and wait here until a sailor came and proposed to have a relationship with them. Now, when I say relationship, I don't mean that he proposed marriage.
They took
it
their
was
virginity.
a faster sort of relationship. Now the girls had to say yes, they couldn't say no, and they couldn't leave the temple until this happened. So that could be days, months, or years. Once this happened, they were free to go back to the village and continue with their lives. They would get married, have babies, and etc. But this was something that they had to do, and it was a ritual and a sacrifice to the goddess. If they did this, the goddess would give fertility to the rest of the village, and they would still protect the sailors that came here all the time, because when Phoenicians founded the city in the 8th century before Christ, they established the most important port of the island right here in Cagliari. And they had connections with the rest of Europe and Africa. So they really wanted to protect the sailors coming. That's what the village believed, and that's what the girls came to do. And that cistern, if you see, there's like a bunch of lines, and that would collect the water from the rain and then take it to the cistern, hold it there, and before and after these rituals they would take baths. I love it because they're translating what I'm saying. A long time after that, they built a monastery here. And guess who they dedicated that monastery to?
Aaliyah.
Our lovely friend Aaliyah. So the monks that lived here lived pretty much with the same values that he had back there. They would live off the land with just what they found here. They would plant some things also. They would also take care of the salt ponds, and they would also take care of some fish farms that were here. There was a lot of medieval coins that were found here. You can see them at the Archaeological Museum of Cagliari. That's right in the center. It's very interesting. And you can also see statues of the goddess of Astarte. And that's very cool. Now you're gonna see that it's not really, I mean, it's ruins pretty much. It's a bunch of rocks. We're gonna learn a little bit forward why, but this is basically because of World War II. It didn't really survive because there's buildings that are in the city that are maybe older than this that are still there, and clearly something happened for the monastery to not still be here. Now I'm gonna explain to you why this place is called the Devil's Saddle.
Oh, is that like the horn?
Exactly. So if you come this way, you're going to see why.
Oh my.
Okay, so this exact place is why this place is called the Devil's Saddle. You see how the rock makes a sort of a U-shaped dent over there? Legend says that the devil was really obsessed with the Gulf of Cagliari, and he wanted it for himself. When God found out about this, he was like, no, this is mine, you cannot have it. If you want it, we can fight for it. So what they did was have a fight right here in the skies above the Gulf, and it was the devil and the demons against God and the angels. Now there's two sort of endings, possible endings to the story, which gives us the name of the place. And it's, one was that they hit the devil's horse, the saddle fell, it made the dent, and that's why this place is called the Devil's Saddle. The other side of the story says that the angels actually hit the devil. He fell and he made the dent in the rock, leaving this beautiful place with that name. Now, you can believe that or not, the Gulf of Cagliari is also named the Gulf of the Angels because of this story. But we are in Italy, and God and the devil and stories about the religion are gonna be everywhere, as you might have noticed already. Now that tower over there, I don't know if you see it, that's the Poeto Tower. It's named exactly like the beach. And that was built by the Spaniards during the 14th century when the Crown of Aragon was here with the, let's say, the power over the island. We're gonna see another tower, which is that one. We're gonna see it now from up close. That was built in the exact same period. Of these towers.
Tower of Elia.
Exactly. This is the Saint Elia Tower, and this is the Lantern Tower. Of course, this is more modern because of the way that it was constructed, but this one was made exactly with the same principle of the one over there, and in the same period, and also by the Spaniards. This one over here was built during the World War II. And to make this, they used a lot of rocks from the temple that we saw before. That's why it's so destroyed, because they took that and they built this. Now, when the World War II happened, they had basically the same idea. They wanted to really be ready if someone came from the water, because that's what the history of Sardinia tells you. Everyone that comes here trying to conquer the island comes from the water. Italy in the World War II had a very good friendship with Germany. So through the port of Cagliari, submarines would go off. And also anything that came to Sardinia from continental Italy would go through that port. So the American army and the English army were very intelligent to attack the city of Cagliari, knowing that if they did that, they would be attacking the whole island. They were also very clever because they never came by the sea. They dropped bombs from airplanes, and that's why and how they destroyed 80% of the city. And that's how and why you see nowadays that most of the architecture is very modern. Only 20% of the city was still standing, which is Castello, which is the part behind the Bastione. That's very, very old. That's the only part that wasn't very destroyed. The rest of the city was in ruins, and it was very sad. But I find it sort of funny, and at least I want to congratulate these two armies for being intelligent. I mean, if you know that they are expecting you from the water, you just come from somewhere else and you do what you do. I am not pro-war, but I mean, I think that was a very, very good strategy to have.
For sure.
And Italians weren't very smart. Now this is the other side of the cistern that I was telling you about. That's why it's 27 meters long, because it goes all through the temple.
Interesting.
And it's really cool.
There's a bunch of plants down there.
Yeah, well, it's not really used for the water. Also because, I mean, if it rains, it will fill up. Not as much as it did before, because the canalizations do not exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it's never gonna rain 4.5 meters. So if it does, it's gonna be a problem for the whole city. All of the colors of the water and of the plants.
And just like how far and like everything is, and all at once. I need to bring my mom here one day.
Yes, that was amazing.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
I'm really happy you enjoyed it.
Yes, it was amazing.
Oh, honestly, it was really fun watching your reaction, because I feel like that was me when I came here for the first time, and like...
Thank you.
Have a safe rest of your trip.
Yep.
You too.
Well, do not for napkins. Okay, who wants some Coca-Cola?
Hello everyone, I am off by my own. It is whatever day you guys just saw on the screen. Once again, not a clue which day it is. I mean, today is Tuesday, July 13th maybe? I don't remember exactly. I'm on my own. It's about noon right now. And Gabby and Laura have been shopping this morning to go like getting birthday stuff for Laura's birthday party on Saturday. And apparently we're having lunch at her parents' house. So they're driving there. I am walking there. I could take the bus. I don't really feel like it though, because the bus takes like 13 minutes and walking takes like 19 minutes. And I'd have to wait for the bus, so I'd get there in like the same amount of time. And I haven't been walking as much here than in Rome. And I haven't been working out like I do at home, so I was like, you know what, I might as well walk. It's not really that big of a difference. So I am walking to her parents' house, and hopefully I don't die. As you guys see, there's like tons of cars that are like right beside me, so hey, we'll see. She's outside trying to fix the light. Come here. Oh. It's okay. Come here. Look at how big this drink is. This is a king size.
This is a medium.
I got 6-piece chicken nuggets, fries, and a double cheeseburger with bacon on it. Oh yeah. And then we're gonna get dessert after. True American. Did they give me 2 fries? They gave me 2 fries.
I'll have some. Can I have some of your chicken nuggets?
No? Really?
Io già sono sempre qua.